If I ask you, who is the largest pizza chain in America, how would you answer? Domino's? Pizza Hut? Papa John's? All familiar big shots. But that's wrong. The largest pizza chain in America is located in a gas station. With more than 9,000 points of sale, about 2,000 more than Domino's, profit margin close to 50%. Some gas stations report that pizza contributes up to 16% of their food revenue, and chains like Casey's achieve annual revenues of $4 billion, with pizza at the center. Sounds like a joke, but that's the truth. From small towns without restaurants to military bases in Germany or South Korea, gas station pizza is quietly becoming a staple for the American working class. So, what makes a slice of pizza at a gas station the most surprising food in America? In this video, we will explore the story behind the slice of pizza that keeps all of America running. Let's get started. If you want to understand why gas station pizza has become the most surprising food in America, you have to look beyond the layer of cheese and dough. Behind that is a social machine operating 24/7, where people also need to be fueled just like cars. Imagine America as a network of highways stretching millions of kilometers, like a gigantic circulatory system. Every day, millions of truck drivers, construction workers, powerline technicians, and night shift employees move non-stop. Shifts lasting 12 to 14 hours are not uncommon. Driving for 6 to 8 hours straight is normal. In that picture, a meal is no longer a culinary experience. It is a survival solution amidst the industrial pace of life. A comment recounts, "I once had a trucking route where I sometimes had to drive for over 8 hours without eating anything. Literally along the entire route, there was only one place selling prepared food, which was Casey's gas station selling pizza. Is that gourmet pizza? No, but that's the only thing I can buy in the next 15 hours. When the nearest restaurant is a 30-minute drive away, when the supermarket is closed, when you only have 15 minutes to stop before heading back to the construction site, a slice of hot pizza at the gas station becomes the most reasonable choice. This is where economics meets real life. Time is more important than perfection. Convenience is more important than brand reputation. Gas station pizza, therefore, does not sell cuisine. It sells support. Like gasoline for cars, it is fuel for people. But if it's only the long-distance labor class, is this phenomenon large enough to become an empire? The answer lies in a gap that few people notice. In many rural areas of the United States, there are towns where there are no large supermarkets within a radius of several dozen kilometers. Places referred to by a cold term, food desert. There, gas stations don't just sell gas. It sells coffee, bread, packaged foods, and increasingly, hot pizza. One comment said, "When you live in a remote place and can order a whole pizza, it really helps rural communities that are craving this dish." Let's translate this into a familiar image. If a large city can have 10-20 restaurants within a 1-kilometer radius, then in many rural areas within the same radius, there might only be a gas station. When gas station pizza becomes the only hot meal within walking distance, it is no longer a second choice. It is the only option. And when the stable demand repeats every day, every week, this model is no longer an experiment. It becomes infrastructure, a part of the local ecosystem. Notably, places lacking traditional restaurants are actually the least competitive markets. An interesting paradox. The farther from the center, the greater the opportunity. But the story doesn't stop at the borders of the United States. There is a detail that is rarely mentioned. Gas station pizza does not only exist in the United States. It appears in military bases in Europe and Asia. In those areas, strict schedules, limited food options, and a high demand for quick meals are prevalent. Pizza became the solution that matched the disciplined operational rhythm. Here we see a factor more important than taste: the distribution system. Just like how tech brands follow the internet infrastructure, gas station pizzas follow the logistics infrastructure, warehousing, trucks, distribution centers, supply contracts. When a distribution system has already covered thousands of points, adding an oven to a gas station is just the next logical step. The question arises, is the success of gas station pizza due to its taste, or because it appears in the right place at the right time, within an already optimized system? And if so, where does the real business lesson lie? The recipe for the pizza or the distribution formula? In the next section, we will dissect the very business model behind this slice of pizza, where the profit figures reveal an even more surprising picture than the social story above. If the previous part is a social picture, then here we step into the machine room behind the counter, where the smell of cheese is just a smokescreen, and what really operates is an extremely intelligent, expanded model. And the shocking thing is, they didn't build a restaurant. They set up restaurants in places that already have customers. They expand without needing new locations. Hunt Brothers did not take the traditional route of opening beautiful stores, renting expensive spaces, and running massive advertisements. Instead, they played a move similar to a startup. Asset light, minimizing fixed assets. No need to open a new restaurant. They install pizza-making capabilities into existing convenience stores, gas stations. No franchise fees, no profit sharing. Store owners buy the equipment and source the ingredients from them. Equipment in packages. Some places invest around $13,000, while larger packages can go up to $25,000. And gas station owners say they break even in about a year. Let me put it in simpler terms. $13,000 is not for building a store, but rather like buying a high-end used car in return. You get a mini kitchen running all day, catering to the existing customer flow. It can be seen that Hunt Brothers don't build castles, they place ATMs in crowded areas. What about you? If you were the owner of a convenience store, would you choose to sell an extra snack shelf, or install an oven that generates steady revenue every day? And once you have the oven model set up, the next thing that will determine survival is the supply chain of ingredients. In this world, the pizza recipe can be learned quickly, but the distribution system is not. Hunt Brothers started with wholesale distribution, and then brought that DNA into a new model. What is the key point? They have over 9,000 points of sale, but they don't cover the entire area, only about 36 states, stopping at the Western Rockies and Eastern New England due to distribution area limitations. In other words, you don't expand to where you want, you expand to where your trucks can arrive on time. On the other side is Casey's. They have 3 distribution centers to serve about 2,600 stores in 17 states, and they are aggressively expanding into new states. It can be seen that in F and B, the supply chain is not a logistics department, it is the product. You can sell pizza, but what you are really operating is a flow of goods. Dough, cheese, toppings, packaging, delivery time. So, in your opinion, what's harder? Making a delicious pizza, or ensuring that 9,000 locations have the right ingredients to bake every day? And when that flow is smooth, the rest is almost like 5th grade math, but effective like a well-kept secret. A gas station manager said bluntly, "Customers come in for pizza and then conveniently buy other items. This is a classic bait. The pizza attracts customers, and the shopping cart is the real prize." Now let's look at the numbers. One outlet makes about 400 pizzas a month, along with 50 pounds of chicken wings. Another location makes about 600 pizzas a month. If priced at around $12, pizza, 400 pieces a month, equivalent to $4,800 a month after deducting the cost of ingredients. For example, around $2,000 $275.68 month. It amounts to about $30,000. Year from pizza, a point of 600 pieces, month can reach up to $45,000 year. A small pizza counter in a gas station can generate revenue comparable to a mini restaurant, but without the cost of starting from scratch, since customers are already there to refuel. And if you're wondering if this is just small revenue, remember, Casey's a gas station empire centered around hot food with enormous revenue. Surprisingly, what seems ordinary is actually the easiest to replicate. So if this model is so powerful, why do audiences both criticize and love it? Why do some people call it a savior, while others say there's nothing special about it? In the next part, we will delve into consumer psychology. What makes a simple slice of pizza become a symbol of convenience for an entire nation? If you enjoy the kind of peeling back the layers behind the counter as a whole system, you can hit follow so you don't miss the next part. I promise, the deeper we go, the more surprising the story becomes. Okay, let's continue. If viewed from a distance, gas station pizza is just a convenient product. But when delving into the viewers' comments, an interesting thing emerges. They don't talk about it as an ordinary food item. They talk about it as if recalling a memory, a phase of life, or a battle between brands. And it is this contradiction of both criticism and affection that is the key to making it a phenomenon. In marketing, there is a little-known rule. Positive surprise outweighs absolute quality. Many people walk into the gas station with very low expectations. They think, it's probably just reheated frozen pizza. But when you take the first bite, the feeling is usually, oh, not as bad as I thought. There are even places that make fresh dough on site and bake it directly on the same day. Psychology calls this the contrast effect. When you expect 3 points but receive 6 points, the emotional response is much more explosive compared to expecting 8 and receiving 8. Gas station pizza doesn't need to surpass traditional Italian restaurants. It just needs to overcome prejudice. And in the world of word of mouth, a product that is better than expected spreads faster than a product that is just as good as expected. But that's just the first layer. The second layer lies in the evaluation criteria. Many people frankly say, it's not the best pizza. Some places have slightly high prices. But the strange thing is, they still buy it back, because in the circumstances of hunger, fatigue, and cold, after a long shift, the standards change. When you are truly hungry, you don't seek excellent food. You look for food that is ready. This is behavioral economics in its most original state. Value does not lie in absolute quality, but in the context of consumption. A slice of pizza in the city center can be compared to 10 other restaurants. But a slice of pizza in the middle of a late-night highway is almost unbeatable. Like a coat in the rain, you don't ask if it's the best. You ask, is it warm enough? Gas station pizza exists in that realm of just good enough. And sometimes, good enough at the right time is stronger than excellent at the wrong time. But if it's just convenience, it won't evoke such deep emotions. What makes it more special lies in the memories. When reading the shares, there are some very notable sentences. Lifesaver. Jur chotoi tieptuk. I was eating it while watching the video. This is not a food review. This is a memory. Gas station pizza is associated with the night shifts in my 20s, the cross-country drives, the days in the military, those evenings when only one place still had its lights on. It's not a special dish. It is a milestone of a phase in one's life, like instant noodles during college. Not because they are the best, but because they are tied to the time you grew up. And when a dish becomes a memory, it transcends the realm of gastronomy. It steps into the realm of emotions. But the story doesn't stop there, because when the emotions are strong enough, they create an even more interesting phenomenon: fandom. When a dish has fans, it is no longer just a convenience. It becomes an identity. Midwesterners defend Casey's. Southerners mention a different chain. There are debates between gas station pizza brands as if discussing favorite sports teams. This is when the product transcends its original function. Fandom appears when the experience is repeated enough times, the memory is deep enough, the community is large enough, and when the debate arises, the content spreads. Viral marketing doesn't need advertising. It needs conflicting emotions. Gas station pizza stands between two extremes. Looked down upon, but protected. Popular, but loyal. And it is that very contradiction that creates long-lasting vitality. Have you ever had a dish that wasn't the best, but you couldn't forget? Is the value of food in its taste, or in the circumstances? In the next part, we will delve into the competitive landscape and the future of this model. Is it just a trend, or a sustainable structure of the convenience economy? If you enjoy how we dissect everything from psychology to strategy, you can follow the channel. The upcoming segments will offer many perspectives that will make you reconsider how you evaluate street food. If gas station pizza is a silent empire, then Milwaukee is not accidentally the epicenter. This city is not just a place with a dense concentration of stores. It is the intersection of consumer culture, transportation infrastructure, and culinary habits. Three factors that, when combined, create an almost perfect formula. Wisconsin is well known for its dairy and cheese industry. But behind that is an interesting fact. This is one of the states with the highest consumption of frozen pizza in the United States. Imagine a market where pizza is a familiar dish in every household. When the demand already exists, you don't have to educate the customers. You just need to change the consumption context. From the kitchen at home to the gas station. Milwaukee, therefore, resembles a fertile land. The people are used to the rich cheese flavor, thick crust, Midwest-style pizza. A slice of pizza at a gas station is not shocking. It's just a more convenient version of something they already love. In business, this is extremely important. A good market is not where you create new demand, but rather a place where you optimize existing demand. But culture alone is not enough. A convenient product only truly takes off when it is placed in the right spot. Milwaukee is located between Illinois and Wisconsin, near Chicago, one of the largest economic centers in the United States. The highways cutting through this area are like major arteries connecting the two states. In retail, foot traffic is an intangible asset. You may not have a luxurious storefront, but if you stand in the middle of traffic, you are owning a living billboard. Milwaukee has both. A strong pizza culture, high traffic volume. Additionally, the density of independent restaurants in suburban areas and small towns is not as high as in downtown Chicago. Less direct competition, stable demand. This is the ideal environment for the gas station pizza model to be tested and expanded. But the question is Milwaukee just the beginning, or does it represent a broader trend across the United States? In the next section, we will look beyond one city to see if gas station pizza is a local trend or a quietly expanding, sustainable economic structure. Just reheated frozen pizza. This is the most common criticism. For many people, gas stations are associated with convenience food, not high-quality cuisine. The reality? At some outlets, the process is indeed quite simple. Standardized ingredients, quick operations, automatic ovens. But the interesting thing is customers don't buy it as fine dining. They buy it as a solution. Imagine you are in the middle of the highway at 10 p.m. The choice is not between gas station pizza and a 5-star Italian restaurant. The choice is between hot pizza and nothing. In that context, the definition of quality changes. In addition, some people question, If the total revenue is tens of millions of USD, divided by thousands of points of sale, the average number at each place is not very impressive. But this is a point that can easily be misunderstood. Pizza at the gas station is not designed to be the sole star. It is a piece that increases profit. Like a store with an added coffee counter, there's no need to change the entire model, but it significantly increases the value of each customer visit. And when the gross margin can reach around 50%, the important thing is not the absolute revenue, but the stable additional cash flow. The contradiction lies here. Being underestimated, but growing steadily. Not perfect, but customers keep coming back. Not luxurious, but widespread across thousands of locations. So, in the end, does the success of gas station pizza come from the quality of the product or from the underlying system structure? In the next section, we will draw the biggest strategic lessons, what founders and investors can learn from America's most surprising dish. If we strip away the layers of cheese, dough, and emotional story, gas station pizza leaves behind a set of business lessons far more valuable than the dish itself. First, sell where others don't sell. While thousands of brands pour money into central locations, competing for every square meter, gas station pizza chooses a counterintuitive strategy, placing itself where no one wants to stand. Small town, highway, suburban area, few lights, but many unmet needs. The lesson here is not to sell pizza, but rather find the gap instead of squeezing into the crowd. Secondly, convenience sometimes outweighs perfection. Many brands are obsessed with being the best. Gas station pizza is just right at the moment. In behavioral economics, value is determined by context. A 7/10 product in a context of limited choices can be stronger than a 9/10 product among 20 competitors. Is your business trying to perfect the product or optimize the consumer situation? Thirdly, logistics is king. The formula can be replicated, the brand can be emulated, but the distribution system is the real defensive wall. 9,000 points of sale are not built with advertising. They are built with trucks, warehouses, and supply contracts. In the era of global supply chains, the competitive advantage does not lie in the front, but behind the scenes. And finally, the byproduct can become the centerpiece. Casey's is a gas station, but pizza is the heart of food revenue. An initially secondary product can become the main driver if it generates steady traffic and profit. So, in your business, are there any gas station pizzas that are being overlooked? And now, to conclude, we will look back at the entire story to answer the final question. Is this a temporary phenomenon or a sustainable economic structure? From a food considered convenient to eat anywhere, gas station pizza has quietly become a part of the American economic structure, serving the working class, filling geographical gaps, and operating on an extremely intelligent distribution system. It's not a story about high-end cuisine. It's a story about context, systems, and practical needs. You might not consider gas station pizza the best, but clearly, it is one of the smartest models. So, in your opinion, does the success of this model come from product quality, customer psychology, or the logistic structure behind it? Please share your perspective below. I would love to read your viewpoint. If you find it interesting to explore the silent empires behind everyday phenomena, you can subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next analyzes. Note: the content in the video is analytical and for reference purposes only, not specific investment or business advice. The data is compiled from public sources and may change over time. See you in the next topic.